Now we will learn about the operators and expressions in Python. The objectives are: what are operators, learn about arithmetic, comparison and logical operators, understanding the operator precedence, and finally practice with some small problems. So first of all, what are operators? Operators are something like that two or more things combine together and give some meaningful output. And the purpose of the operator is always some meaningful results. Let's have a real life example. We must hear about the telephone company or SIM company. And by default, if you notice, we call them as telephone operator or SIM company operator. Did you think why we call them as operator? Because they connect two or more people together from a remote area, and they works as a middleman. And finally, they works as an operator. And that's why in telephone company or SIM company, we call them as operator. This concept is exactly same in Python programming or any other programming language. So here, the operators actually works for combining two or more data and give some meaningful output. And we as a programmer do the operation for some meaningful output. Let's learn about some operator in action. In Python programming, there are some different kinds of operators. The basics operator are arithmetic operators, comparison operators, and logical operators. First of all, we will learn about the arithmetic operators. So arithmetic operators are actually general mathematics operator. We all know about the addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, etc. So we have a sample program here. We'll just copy it. And I have created another program file, op.py, and here I pasted this program. So here, if you see, a equal 10 and b equal 3. So these are two variables we defined with integer data. And now we have used the print statement for different kinds of operation. Okay, so these are called actually arithmetic operators. So let's write some comments here. Okay, so here what is actually doing, we are defining two variables here and then using the different kinds of operator to operate these two values and giving some proper output. So here if you see in this first print statement, we used one plus sign. So here we use the plus operator in general mathematics that we use for summing up two things or two or more things. So here it is the same in the programming, especially in Python programming. So here we are adding two variables like variable of a plus variable of b. So it's going to actually sum these two numbers and give the final result of these two number. Okay, and as this is the plus operator inside these two variables, that's why it's going to sum up these two numbers and giving the final output. So similarly, here we use the minus operator, and that is called subtraction operator in programming. And here it's actually going to subtract the value of variable b from value of variable a. And it will give the final result after this operation. And similarly, for multiplication and division, we use this kind of sign. For multiplication in programming, we use the asterisk sign. And for division, we use the slash sign. Okay, so now let's see how these four operators output in the terminal. So for now, we will comment these two lines and then we will run the program. So Python op.py. So here we can see the addition is 13 because we have the value of 10 and 3. So the sum of 10 and 3 is 13. And the subtraction between a and b, the result is 7. And the multiplication of a and b is 30. And the division of the a and b is 3.33. So here how this arithmetic operator works. So the next operator is the modulus operator. And it's actually using the percentage sign in general mathematics. But the result of modulus is also different from the general mathematics because it's going to calculate the remainder of this variable when we are going to divide it into whole number. Here variable a 10 can be divided by 3 with whole number for 3 times and the remainder will be 1. So for this calculation the result is going to come 1. So these three things we have to keep in mind that these things works like this way. So this modulus is actually going to calculate the remainder of a division operator and then the sign is going to used as a percentage sign in general mathematics. But in programming, especially in Python programming, this sign is not a percentage sign. This sign is the modulus sign. And finally, this is the power operator, and this is going to work like the exponential operator in general mathematics. And the power operator in Python programming is represented as double asterisk character. Okay, so here is the base is 10 and the power is 30. So in exponential operator, this a is the base and this b is the power. Here the base a is 10 and the power b is 3. So this is going to work like this, like 10 into 10 into 10. So the power is the number how many times will multiply with the base. Okay, so this power is actually going to tell how many times the base will multiply with itself. Okay, so 10 to the power 3 is equal to 10 into 10 into 10. So let's see how it's work. So if we run this program, after saving the program, for this modulus, the result will be 1 because the remainder is 1 for this division, whole number division. And for this one, it's going to coming for 10,000. So now let's run this program again. And the result of it will be 1,000. So then moving forward, the next operator type is the comparison operator. The comparison operator is actually compare two or more data and give final result as true or false. That means it always returns the Boolean value true or false. If the comparison between two or more data is correct, then it's going to return the result of true. And if the comparison is false or wrong, then it's going to return false. So here we have some example code of comparison operator. Let's copy this and replace by this whole code. Okay. Now if we see, we define two variable x and y. X is equal to 5 and y is equal to 8. Now between these two numbers, we will compare that which number is greater than from which. Okay. So here in the print statement, we said that x is greater than y. That means we are telling that x, the value of x is greater than y. So here we can see the value of x is 5 and the value of y is 8. So this is actually not true because x is not greater than y. So this sign is actually representing as the greater than sign. So finally it will result or it will output as false. Here we are telling that x is smaller than y. So this is the smaller sign in Python program, and it's actually true because x is actually smaller than y. Again, here we are defining that we are telling that x is equal to y. Earlier we told that this one equal sign representing the assignment operator. So when we are actually comparing the two value using this comparison operator or equal operator, then we must have to give two equal sign. So this is meaning actually x is exactly equal to y, which is false because x is not equal to y. Similarly, here the final things is x is not equal to y. That means this is the operator for representing or telling not equal. So we are comparing this x and y is not equal, and which is true because x and y are actually not equal. Moving forward, the next operator type is the logical operator. Logical operator actually combines two or more results of the comparison operator. So here let's copy this program and put into our program to see in action. So here we have two variables a and b. So a is equal true and b is representing false. Here let's do something real. Say for example, this is friend a and this is friend b. So this friend a is coming to the event and this friend b is false. That means is not coming in the event. Okay, so this friend a is coming to the event and this friend b is not coming to the event because b is false and a is true. Here in Python, we write the logical operators something like and, or, not. So these are three basic logical operators in Python. Okay, so there are some other logical operators. We will cover them in advanced section. For now, let's see how this and actually works. Here in the print statement, we are saying that friend A and friend B both are coming. But if you see, friend A is coming, but friend B is not coming. But in the variable definition, we can see friend A is true, that means he is coming, and friend B is false, that means he is not coming to the event. Okay, but here we are saying that friend A and friend B both are coming. But ultimately, this result is going to be false because we are saying here friend A and friend B both are coming. But here we can see friend B is not coming. So here we are telling that friend A and B both are coming. But actually, friend B is not coming. That's why the whole logic is false here. And here, if we see OR, that means the logical OR operator, and we are saying that either friend A or either friend B is coming. Okay, so now here in the variable definition, if we see friend A is actually coming, but friend B is not coming. And also we are saying here either friend A or friend B is coming. Okay, so that means this is going to true because from these two friend, one is coming. That means this is true. Okay, and now here in the third print statement, we are saying that friend A is not coming. But in the variable definition, we can see friend A is actually coming. So we are saying not correct here, right? So this is going to be false. But if we print just A and friend A is coming, that means that is true, right? So let's now run this program. So we can see for print statement 1, it came the result of false, and for second print statement, it came true, that we actually said, and for third print statement, it's coming false, that we already explained. So this is how actually the logical operators works in Python. Moving forward, let's go to the operator precedence. The operator precedence actually explaining that when multiple operator operate some data together, okay, which operator should operate first, right? So here in this example, if we copy this program and put into our program and see, here we defined one variable called result, and result is equal to plus 3 into 4. Here we can see two operators are used in the same operation, right? But the question is, which operator should calculate first, this one or this one? If this is going to operate first, then 2 plus 3 will be 5 into 4 will be 20, right? But if 3 and 4 operate first, then 3 into 4 will be 12 plus 2 will be 14, right? So the results are 14 and 20. But how it will calculate? Let's run the program and we can see it's coming 14. That means first of all, it's actually calculating this portion, okay? And then it's actually summing up. So even after multiplication operator at the end, but still it's working first. So this is called actually the operator precedence. So if we see in the document, the multiplication and division operator calculate first and then the addition and subtraction. So this is how works the operator precedence in Python. Now let's say mini project, and it's about a simple calculator which will calculate the general operation like addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. So let's copy this program and put into our program. Here we can see the input function that we already saw in the earlier video, and now here it's actually surrounding by the float function. So we saw about the int function that was converting the value into integer. Now this float function will convert this value into the floating point number. Okay, so here the num1 is taking the number 1 from the user input, and num2 is taking the user input 2 from the user keyboard, and finally after taking the input, it's converting to floating point number. Okay, so this num1 and num2, it is actually asking to choose the operator. So here another input function for taking the input, like which operator to operate. Okay, so now in this OP we are taking the operator we want to operate, like addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. And finally, if the operator we input plus or additional operator, then it's going to sum the number, and if we put the subtraction operator, it's going to print the subtraction of the result, and similarly for multiplication and division. And we type anything else rather than these operators, then it's going to print the invalid operator. So these things are called conditional statement in Python programming. So this if, else and else is actually the conditional statement in Python program that we will learn in some time. But for now, let's run this program and see how it actually works for the simple calculator. So if we run this program again, so it's asking for the first number, say for example 12, and enter the second number, say for example 20, and enter, it's actually asking for choosing the operators, and here it's saying you can choose this operator. So if we say, for example, input the plus operator and enter, it's going to the result of 32, because 20 plus 12 is 32. Now again, if we run the program and put some value like 20 and second number is 10 or 8, okay, and hit enter, and then choose the operator as subtraction operator or minus sign, then hit enter, and it's going to subtract the operator from A to B, and the result is 12. So similarly, it will happen for this multiplication and division. And if we input some anything else rather than those operators, say for example 50, 10, and anything like this, and it's going to print the invalid operators. Okay, so already we made one simple calculator and we saw in action. Now some homework for you. The homeworks are: write a program that asks the user for the length and width and then calculate the area of rectangle. And the second homework is write a program that takes a number and prints double of it, square of it, and cube of it. Okay,